You didn't buy the future, you bought a ticking financial time bomb. Automakers are hiding a devastating secret designed to silently evaporate your net worth and trap you in catastrophic debt. Here is the shocking truth the billionaires pray you never discover. Picture this. It is 2 in the morning and the rain is drumming relentlessly against the panoramic glass roof of your brand new $80,000 technological marvel. You are sitting in the pitch black of a deserted strip mall parking lot, staring at a glaring dashboard that reads 9% battery. Beside you, one charging station has a shattered screen. The second is locked in an endless reboot loop. The third has a sleeping driver slumped over the steering wheel, holding the only working cord hostage. You aren't saving the planet right now. You are just trying to survive the night. For the last half-decade, the media, the tech billionaires, and the slick politicians have force-fed us a utopian fantasy. They promised us that electric vehicles were the holy grail of convenience, a seamless, clean leap into a futuristic tomorrow. But what they actually sold us was a first-class ticket onto a melting iceberg. Right under our feet, a $100 billion financial catastrophe is quietly shattering. The EV bubble hasn't popped with a loud, dramatic bang on the front pages of the Financial Times. It is silently bleeding out in the bank accounts, the upside-down loans, and the shredded nerves of millions of everyday people who dared to believe the lie. Welcome to Credit Card Payoff Plan US, where we strip away the corporate PR and look out for your financial survival. If you value the raw, unfiltered truth that protects your hard-earned money from the next big trap, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. Your support is the engine that drives this channel to keep exposing these massive financial disasters before they ruin you. Now, let us talk about the very first domino to fall: the brutal, crushing illusion of everyday convenience. You probably thought buying an EV would liberate you from the grim, fossil-fueled chore of visiting gas stations. You thought you were buying freedom. In reality, you just signed a life sentence to become the unpaid, highly stressed logistics manager of your own commute. Let us look at the undeniable reality of our so-called infrastructure today. When you drive a traditional gas car, you pull in, spend exactly 14 seconds unscrewing a cap and swiping a card, and 3 minutes later, you are merging back onto the interstate. It is thoughtless. It is perfectly reliable. But the moment you take the keys to an EV, you enter a high-stakes game of urban survival. You are no longer a driver. You are a hostage to the grid. Every road trip requires meticulous, military-grade planning. You find yourself at the mercy of smartphone applications that lie to you, pointing you toward charging banks that are either completely dead, vandalized, or crawling at a pace so agonizingly slow, it feels like a cruel joke. You spent an absolute premium to own a machine that is supposed to serve you. Instead, the machine dictates when you are allowed to move, how far you are permitted to travel, and exactly which desolate corner of the world you must sit in while life passes you by. This is the very definition of suffocating on a pile of your own money. The glossy CGI commercials promised you would be sipping an artisanal latte in a sunlit cafe while your car charged effortlessly in the background. The visceral reality is gripping a steering wheel with white knuckles, sweating over range anxiety, and praying the next station actually works. This paralyzing inconvenience isn't just a minor hiccup. It is the first fatal knife wound to the electric vehicle fantasy. But the physical paralysis you feel sitting in that dark parking lot is absolutely nothing compared to the quiet, suffocating financial paralysis creeping into your bank account. Let us talk about the second brutal reality of this electric illusion: which is the terrifying speed at which these vehicles destroy your personal wealth. For generations, buying a car was never considered a good investment, but there was a predictable floor to your losses. A traditional combustion engine vehicle held intrinsic mechanical value, meaning you knew roughly what it would be worth when it came time to trade it in. The electric vehicle market has taken that predictable depreciation and turned it into a financial freefall. You see, the automakers and the slick tech visionaries do not want you to realize that you are no longer buying a car. You are buying a 2-ton rolling smartphone. And just like a smartphone, the moment a new model drops with a slightly better processor or 5 more miles of range, the expensive glass and metal brick in your driveway becomes virtually obsolete. People are waking up to a living nightmare where they owe $55,000 on an auto loan for a machine that the secondary market values at $25,000 just 2 years after it left the showroom. Dealerships are quietly refusing to take them as trade-ins because they know the lots are already functioning as graveyards for used electric vehicles that nobody wants to buy. Imagine the deep, hollow pit in your stomach when you realize you are trapped in an upside-down loan of epic proportions, chained to a depreciating asset that is shedding thousands of dollars in value every single month. You thought you were adopting the future, but instead, you volunteered to absorb the astronomical research and development costs of a beta product. The wealthy early adopters could afford to take that massive financial hit, treating their electric cars like disposable novelty items. But for the everyday working person trying to build a stable financial foundation, this level of rapid depreciation is a wealth killer. It traps you in a cycle of debt, making it mathematically impossible to build equity or upgrade your vehicle without rolling massive negative balances into your next loan. You are not saving money on gas. You are simply prepaying your fuel costs in the form of catastrophic depreciation, handing over your hard-earned net worth to billionaire corporations who sold you a shiny gadget disguised as a reliable mode of transportation. Yet, the devastating plunge in resale value is merely a symptom of a much darker, ticking time bomb buried deep beneath your floorboards. Welcome to the third chapter of this financial disaster, the terrifying reality of the battery pack. When the transmission or engine fails on a traditional vehicle out of warranty, it is certainly a painful day, but it is a known quantity. You can find a local mechanic, source a refurbished part, and get back on the road for a few $1,000s. The electric vehicle industry has entirely eliminated that safety net. The massive lithium-ion battery pack stretching across the belly of your car is the single most expensive component, and it is a complete black box to the average consumer. We are blindly trusting that these chemical power plants will last exactly as long as the warranty promises. But what happens on the day after that warranty expires? I will tell you what happens. You start hearing the horror stories that the mainstream automotive press conveniently buries. A single faulty cell, a minor degradation issue, or a software fault can trigger a warning light that effectively totals your vehicle overnight. We are not talking about a simple repair bill. We are talking about quotes ranging from $15,000 to $25,000 just to replace the battery pack. Imagine walking into a service center for what you think is a routine checkup, only to be handed an estimate that equals the entire remaining value of your vehicle. It is a financial death sentence for the car. There is no sprawling network of independent electric vehicle mechanics ready to offer you a cheaper alternative. You are entirely at the mercy of the manufacturer, forced to either cough up a down payment for a house just to make your car drivable again, or sell it for scrap metal. We are currently living through an unprecedented era where millions of these vehicles are rapidly approaching the end of their warranty periods. The public is acting as the ultimate unpaid test subjects for long-term battery degradation. The anxiety of wondering if tomorrow is the day your dashboard lights up with a fatal battery error is a psychological burden you never agreed to carry. This is not sustainable transportation. It is a game of financial Russian roulette, and every time you plug that car into the wall, you are pulling the trigger, just hoping the chamber is empty. Even if you miraculously dodge the bullet of a catastrophic battery failure, the everyday reality of keeping these machines on the road will bleed you dry in ways you never saw coming. This brings us to the fourth hidden trap: the complete collapse of the traditional repair and insurance ecosystem. When you drive a regular car, a minor fender bender in a grocery store parking lot is an annoyance. You exchange insurance information, drop the car at a local body shop, and a week later, it looks good as new. But the moment you bring an electric vehicle into the equation, that exact same minor scrape transforms into a bureaucratic and financial nightmare. Automakers have completely redesigned how cars are built, utilizing massive single-piece casted frames and integrating the fragile battery pack directly into the structural chassis to save on manufacturing costs. They did not do this to help you. They did it to maximize their profit margins. The result is a vehicle that is virtually unrepairable by traditional standards. A minor rear-end collision at 10 miles per hour can easily scratch the protective casing of the battery. Because the manufacturer refuses to accept the liability of a potentially compromised cell, they will instantly declare the entire $80,000 vehicle a total loss. Insurance companies are not stupid. They have massive teams of actuaries calculating this exact risk, and they are passing every single cent of that burden directly onto your monthly premiums. Electric vehicle owners are currently experiencing completely unprecedented spikes in their insurance rates, sometimes double or triple what they paid for their combustion engine vehicles. And if your car is actually deemed repairable, you are thrust into a specialized nightmare. You will wait months for proprietary parts to arrive, sitting helpless while your car gathers dust in one of the few certified shops legally allowed to touch the high-voltage system. You are paying a premium insurance rate for a car you cannot drive, waiting on parts that do not exist, to be installed by mechanics who are profoundly overworked. The entire repair industry is choking on the complexity of these vehicles. You are subsidizing a deeply flawed engineering philosophy every time you pay your insurance bill, draining your monthly cash flow just for the privilege of driving a machine that is one minor parking lot accident away from the junkyard. When you stack the shattered infrastructure, the free-falling depreciation, the looming battery replacements, and the astronomical insurance rates side by side, the utopian mask finally slips and the truth is laid bare. The final piece of this puzzle is recognizing that you are being played and making the conscious choice to step off the battlefield. The electric vehicle push was never about making your life easier or saving your hard-earned money. It was an industry-wide pivot designed to force consumers into a new ecosystem of dependency, where the manufacturer controls the software, the parts, the fueling network, and ultimately, the lifespan of your vehicle. They wanted to turn car ownership into a subscription model, and they used the shiny promise of green technology to bait the trap. But you do not have to be their venture capital. You do not have to sacrifice your financial stability to fund their beta tests. There is immense power in standing on the sidelines and letting the billionaires figure out their own mess on their own dime. A reliable, well-maintained combustion engine or hybrid vehicle is not a symbol of the past. Right now, it is the ultimate shield for your wealth. It offers you predictability in a deeply unpredictable economy. You control when you fuel, you choose who repairs it, and you hold an asset that the secondary market actually respects. True financial freedom is not about showing off a silent, futuristic car to your neighbors while silently drowning in debt and range anxiety. True financial freedom is owning a machine that serves your life without dictating your schedule or threatening your bank account. The electric illusion is crumbling right before our eyes, exposing a landscape of shattered promises and empty wallets. Do not let yours be one of them. Protect your cash, hold on to the reliable vehicles that actually work, and let the early adopters absorb the devastating losses of this failed experiment. If this message resonated with you, if you are tired of the mainstream media sugarcoating these massive financial traps, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear the truth. Stay sharp, guard your wealth, and I will see you in the next one. Aggressive push toward electric vehicles is less about environmental salvation or consumer convenience and more about trapping everyday drivers in a deeply flawed, hyper-expensive ecosystem. As we have explored, the financial pitfalls are staggering. First, EVs suffer from catastrophic depreciation, treating vehicles not as durable assets, but as disposable tech gadgets that lose their value the moment a newer model arrives. Second, the looming threat of battery failure turns these cars into ticking financial time bombs, where a single out-of-warranty cell can result in a replacement bill that equals or exceeds the remaining value of the car itself. Third, the inherently unrepairable nature of modern EV manufacturing means even a minor fender bender can total your vehicle, resulting in skyrocketing insurance premiums and months of agonizing repair delays. Instead of purchasing reliable transportation, consumers are unwittingly funding the beta testing phase of a multi-billion-dollar corporate experiment. The undeniable reality is that traditional combustion engine and hybrid vehicles remain the smartest financial choice, offering predictable costs, universal repairability, and true ownership autonomy. By stepping off this electric battlefield, you protect your net worth from catastrophic losses and refuse to surrender your financial independence to automakers trying to force a restrictive, subscription-based lifestyle on the everyday working class. The deepest lesson to extract from this is that you should never finance a corporate beta test under the guise of adopting the future. True innovation is meant to solve problems and improve your quality of life, not create a labyrinth of financial traps. The overarching takeaway is the absolute necessity of separating slick marketing hype from harsh economic reality. You can apply this to your daily life by fiercely guarding your financial stability against aggressively marketed trends. Before making any major financial commitment, whether it is a vehicle, smart home technology, or a new software ecosystem, evaluate the total long-term cost of ownership, the actual longevity of the asset, and the level of autonomy it affords you. Do not let societal pressure, tax credits, or flashy tech specs goad you into taking on bad debt. Stick to reliable, proven assets that you fully control, and let the wealthy early adopters pay the heavy toll of working out the technological bugs. Will your next vehicle be an electric car, or are you sticking with a traditional gas or hybrid model? Please politely share your thoughts and reasoning in the comments below so our community can read different perspectives and learn from one another. If you found this breakdown valuable and want to help uncover more financial truths, please hit that subscribe button to support the channel and give us the motivation to keep bringing you more hard-hitting content.